Hello, welcome to Shay's Crochet. Today we're going to make a corner to corner baby blanket. I find these so nice and easy to crochet up really quick. It takes me a couple of days. For this one we used the double knit wool with a 4mm hook. It does say 3, but I like it to be a bit loose. The corner to corners work up so nice. I think I've already said that. This one is about 30 inches. All my tutorials will be in US terms. So this is how it looks. So they're like little tiny squares, and you start at one corner and you add on at each end until you get to the centre, and then you just decrease at each end till you get to the very end, to the very last one. And then I've put a little border on, but not too frilly or fancy because it's a unisex baby blanket for this one. So we don't want it too frilly. You can put a plique or anything on if you want, little rabbits or things like that, but I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. So that's about 30 inches roughly. I will also have some more tutorials linked. I'm trying to get my head around all the YouTube things, so look out for the tutorials. I just wanted to show you this that I've also made, because the corner to corner crochet is that easy and you can just switch off and watch telly. This is one I done last winter, so and because you're using a slightly bigger hook, it's not too tight, and using the double knit wool. So yeah, it's just absolutely huge. So that's one side, and they're totally square, but this is so nice when you're sitting watching TV. Hello. So stick around for this tutorial for the baby blanket. Hope you like it. Please consider to subscribing and like this video if you do, and leave a comment if you've got any questions. Thank you. To begin the corner to corner blanket, I find it works up really quickly. It's one of the nicest ways to make little blankets as well for children. They're not too thick. I've done a lot over the years, so you will see, you will enjoy doing this. So we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to double crochet into the 4th from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to double crochet, and double crochet. We're going to turn our work. This is personal preference which way you do this, but I prefer to turn and then chain 6 again. 6 is the magic number. 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then I'm going to double crochet into the 4th from the hook again, which is that one, third one up. 1, 2, 3. So we're working in blocks of 3. 1. Sorry, we're working in blocks of 3 double crochets. And I prefer to use 2 chains, and then it doesn't become too loose. Sorry, I'll just get some more thread. And then keeping this tail towards you, because that's the very bottom of your corner to corner blanket. We're going to lift this up. Now this is where we chain, this is our turning chain hole there, and we're just going to slip into that one, pull it through and slip stitch. So then you've made a hole there. We're going to chain 3, are we? And we're going to double crochet 3 times. 1, 2 and 3. And once we get to your edge, we're back at the edge, so we've nowhere to go. We're going to turn and we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to try and keep it facing towards you so you can see your V's. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to double crochet into that third one along. So that's 1. Then the second one along. That's 2. And the very first one along. That's 3. So now we need to join this back to our work. So we're looking for our chain stitch from before, and we're going to slip stitch in there, pull through, and we're going to chain 3 again. Then we're going to work our 3 double crochet into the same gap. 1, 2, and oops, picked up that wrong. 3. It is a little bit fiddly at first, but once you get used to holding it and the way that the blanket works up, it becomes easier. So now we need to join this to our work. So we're going to find our chain space, which is there. Slip stitch into the first hole, and then we're going to chain 3. And we're going to do 3 double crochets into the same gap. And we'll find ourselves at the end of our row. So we're going to turn our work, keeping this always towards you. We're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to double crochet in the third from the hook, from your work, sorry, fourth from the hook, but third from your work, and then into the second chain and into the first chain. So it looks a bit wobbly, but we are going to attach it to the rest of the main body of work. So we'll slip stitch into that top hook to show you again. So when your work's laid out, you can see these are your turning chains, and what it does, it just gives you a nice open look, like a lace effect to your blanket, which makes it breathable as well for babies, because we don't want them too hot. So back to your slip stitch into your main body of work, chain 3, and then you've got your 3 double crochet, slip stitch into the next gap of the next, joining it up, 2 and 3, and double crochet 3 times, slip stitch into the top, and you can see because it's slightly rounded, 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochet. I was saying 6 is the magic number, but it's actually 3, isn't it? 3 is the magic number. 6 is just your multiply your 3 by 2. So you can see now you're getting this little checkerboard effect. So we're going to turn our work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to go double crochet into the third one up. 1, 2 and 3 next to your work. I'm going to slip stitch into that gap and chain 3 and 3 double crochets, pulling it up. So if you're confused, just lay it flat and then you can see where you need to attach it next. So we're going into that one there. Chain 3 and 3 double crochets. So this is your pattern. You just repeat this. So that's as easy as it is. There's nothing extra special. Now we're looking for around for a cot blanket 70 centimeters, I think it's about right. So once you get to that length of the width, it'll be half of what you want, because we're going to have to swap over the stitch to reduce your stitches back to the other side. So we're going to make it a square eventually, but this is perfect because it makes a perfect square. So we're just going to slip stitch, chain 3 and finish with our 3 double crochet. For this part I'm just going to carry on crocheting as wide as I want it to be. I'm thinking of 70 centimeters because I want it fairly large. I think we're going to do it for a cot blanket, but there's different sizes. I'll pop them on at the beginning or at the end. I've got some sizes to explain how big you'll need a cot blanket. I think it's a pram blanket. I sometimes make them for a car chair because they're really small and ideal little presents as well. Okay, so I'll meet you back here when I've got to your turning point. So I hope you can see this all right. When I come to measuring, I try and just measure, count the little squares, so they're about 1 centimetre, maybe not, they're less than 1 inch, so yeah, maybe wouldn't. I'm going to just measure the length of this one of the edges, because it is going to be folded up, and I've got to 26, which is, oh, I've got another little bit to do there. Yeah, I've got 26 inches roughly. So I'm happy with the size of this blanket as we are now. So I'm just going to finish this side, slip into the top of there, chain 3 and do our 3 doubles. So this is going to be the corner again, the edge, sorry. Now we're going to turn our work, and instead of chaining the 6, we're just going to work our way back. So I'm going to slip stitch into one, slip stitch into the next, and slip stitch into that one. I'm going to not turn, but I'm actually going to move my work so that I understand that I'm working my way back down. I'm still going to chain 3, but this is going to be classed now as my first double crochet rather than an extension stitch. And then I'm going to only do 2 double crochet, because if I had 3 that would pop out, which won't matter if you're going to put an edge on anyway, because it's going to pop out a little bit, but I prefer it to be a bit smaller. And then carry on with our stitch as normal. So we chain 3, and do our 3 double crochets, slip into the chain above and chain 3, double crochet, slip stitch into the next stitch, as what we have been doing. Now the only time you really have to concentrate is at your edges. So we'll meet you back at the opposite edge. Coming up to the edge, the opposite edge. So do our last square. So now instead of joining on and adding on, this is going to be the last. So I'm just going to slip stitch as I would, then turn and slip stitch back again. 1, 2 and 3. So that's our other top edge, and we're going to chain 3. That's my first double crochet, and into the next. We've got 3 double crochets. I think I am going to do a third one here, and slip into the top, and then we're back to our normal, working our way back down, 4, slip. So this is the normal pattern that we were using, but you'll find now, because we're on the ding crease, that it's quicker. And I find that this pattern is so nice when you're just sitting chilling watching a film. I think that's probably why I have made so many, and I've made quite the big one that I showed you at the beginning. It was just easy to switch off and add colours. The variegated one that's coming up in a couple of days, that'll be a nice cream baby one as well, unisex one. Okay, so hopefully you've got that. I'll show you one more time when we get to the opposite end. Here we are, coming towards the end of this row. So we've done our 3 chains and our second and third double crochet, and this is where we have to remember to just, I'll try and maybe slip stitch into this end, yeah, and stop, or else we'll carry on again. So we have to remember to stop there. no chain, just turn your work, and we're going to slip stitch, slip stitch, and slip stitch, and then another slip stitch, and then face it back that way, and just chain 3, and then do our 3 double crochet back. Now we're going to join it to our work, and now chain 3. So we've just got to be mindful when we get to our ends of each row that we are stopping and we are decreasing. And once you get that, we're good to go. We can actually just switch off again, switch off, and our work is getting smaller and smaller. So I will meet you back when we get close to the end of our blanket. We're nearing the end of our baby blanket now, and it's absolutely crocheted up beautifully. So I'm on to the last couple. I'm literally into the last corner. So we're just going to turn. Hope you can still see. And we're just going to carry on as we have been doing, but now because we're getting to the last couple of stitches, I thought I'll pop on and show you. So we're down to 3 squares. No, 2. So let's slip and turn. And we're just going to slip stitch, chain 3, and we'll do our last little square. And we join up into there. So I'm going to at this point carry on because I want to make the border. So I'm just going to do it in single crochet because I only want a small border. So we start here, and I'm just going to work across, and I don't want it too loose. So what I will do is pick up that stitch there. Hopefully you can see. So where we'd have normally worked into there, I'm just going to work into the top stitch. So I'm just going to single crochet in that one, then into the top of the square. We'll just look for the next chain along, and we're just going to make it, we'll have to cover it by eye, and what I will do is, if there's something that looks like this a lot, I'll do a decrease stitch. So if I feel like if I put a stitch in every one there, it's going to look too bunched up. So what I'm going to do is single crochet into there, but don't finish the stitch, and then single crochet into the next one, yarn over and crochet together. That's a decrease stitch. I'm going to do one there, so it gives it a nice edge where that could be a bit puckered up, but we'll lose that on the next. Oh no, that was where we started. Forgive me. Okay, so I'm going to do the same here. I'm just going to work my way around. So single crochet, single crochet and single crochet. So we're just going to pick up where you can. You can either leave a gap, so there is the top of that stitch, so it's got the little ridge, so I'm just going to hop over that and single crochet into the top of there, which would have been, I'm not going to finish it, I'm going to pop into the next one, so it's going to be a decrease one. So it just brings it together. So hopefully you'll understand what I meant by that. You can also go into every stitch. I just find that it makes it a bit wavy and a bit loose. So this would be more like a wave, and I don't want that. I want it nice and tight. So I'm going to possibly do 2 rounds of single crochet. I'm going to pop over that one and then do a decrease in this one. So you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3, hop over, 4, and then I'm going to do a decrease stitch. So then it'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's quite tight, so hop over that the knotty edge. 5, and then the decrease stitch. So how I'm seeing is I'm doing single crochet all the way along until I find that chain piece here, and that's where I'm going to make that smaller, because it does come up and out. And you can either take it down to a smaller size needle if you want, to make sure that it doesn't go awry on these edges, but I'm quite happy just doing a few single crochet if I can get to that knot, because it is quite tight when I get round to the edge there. So it's 3 and a double crochet together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a double crochet together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a double crochet together. So yeah, it just depends. I was going to try and see if there was a pattern to it, but it's probably just me. I would say possibly 4 and then 2 together. So I'm going to work my way around. See, that's 3, and then I'm going to do 2 together there. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. It's not looking too loose. If it was getting too tight, it would start to curl upwards, but I'm happy with that for now. So I'll work my way around and meet you when I've done the 1 round. Just a thought, when we come up to the corner, we're just going to get as far as we can on the single crochet. We determine the corner one, so that will do as a corner one, and I'm going to 3 single crochets into the same stitch, and that'll get me around the corner, and then I'm facing the right way. and then we carry on as we were. Is it 3 enough? Yeah, 3 is enough to keep it nice and flat. Another point to look out for is when you come round to the edges, and also if you change skeins, balls, I try and make it to the end and then I just crochet over the end. So we're coming round to the beginning and we're going to do the 3 single crochets, and then we're just going to carry on crocheting singles across the bottom, but then we'll crochet off over our ends as we go. Down the side edges are slightly different as well, so I haven't had to decrease any. I think I might just skip the odd one that looks a bit tight to get into with a single crochet. So I'm just going to try my best to crochet all the way down this side, and anything that looks a bit too tight I will just skip over. So that there looks tight, so we'll just go into that next one. Okay. Oops. So just coming round to the last little piece, that's the corner. So I'm just going to do 2, I think, in the corner and back to the first single crochet, and I quite like that, so I'm going to just carry on. I'm going to do another 2 rounds of single crochet, so I'll meet you back there. I've done 2 rounds of single crochet. I'm just going to show you the edges now. So that's the edge with 2 rounds. So you can do up to 4, 6, depends how big you want your blanket. But I'm just going to cut off now and sewing my ends. Oops, I forgot to actually, pull through the ends, that's right. And then I'm just going to in and out a few stitches one way and a few stitches back. If you can, what I always found is if you split the stitch from the, split the yarn, sorry, and sew it through rather than go through the big loop, split it. Turn and then come down onto the next row and do the same. And then come back upon yourself. It's just to make sure that you've just got all the ends, and hopefully it won't unravel. Fasten off. And that's it. If I see any more ends, then we can sew them in. That's a little cot blanket done. I hope you like this tutorial, and I'll be doing some more baby items shortly. Thank you very much for watching.